Right here it says state the conic. All right, from the general form and find the standard form of the equation. All right, hey, first of all, we got to state the conic. So is it a parabola, a circle, or a ellipse? All right, it's an ellipse because, and I'm going to explain why just for the sake of the video. All right, we have x squared and y squared, but the leading coefficients are different. All right, so that gives us an ellipse. All right, if it was the same leading coefficient, it would be a circle. All right. So now we got to find the standard equation. Well, this one is going to require us to complete the square. All right, so first we need to, what do we do first? Who remembers? Who remembers? Yeah, group the X's and the Y's. So, hold on, let me change the thickness of this pen. I like it thick, but you know what I'm saying, not that. I like my pen thick. 4x squared minus 8x. All right, we're gonna group that, and then we're gonna have 9y squared minus 36y, and I'm gonna go ahead and move that constant to the other side. All right. So now we always factor out the leading coefficient, all right, because we want our leading coefficient to be 1. So we're gonna factor out a 4 right here. All right. So we take out a 4. Oh, there you go. Thick again. I don't want that thick. Take out a 4. All right. So we have x squared minus, what would this become? 2x, right? And then right here we're going to take out a 9. So we have y squared minus 4y, right? And it equals negative 4. Now we want to divide, all right? And look, we got to divide twice. Remember when you get here, guys, all right, I don't know, put you a little star right here or something so you remember I got to divide twice from this row. Y'all with me? I have to divide twice from this row. That's the biggest mistake I've noticed. People are not dividing twice. All right, first we're going to divide everything by 4. And what I mean by everything is only the outside numbers. All right, stuff inside the parentheses, we're not going to touch it. All right, so we're going to divide by 4 here, right? That's 1. So we have 1 x squared minus 2x. All right, and right here we have 4 divided by 9, so 4/9 y squared minus 4y. And then right here, that'll give us a negative 1. All right. So notice we divided here once. Okay. We did the 4. We got, go ahead. What's your question? Because, oh, my fault. That should be what? 9 over 4. Good catch. Good catch. Good catch. 9 over 4. Good catch. All right. So now we got to divide again. Okay. But this time we got to divide by what? We're going to divide by 9. We already did the 4. Now we're going to do this 9 right here. So divide again by 9. So right here, that's 1/9. Here, I'm gonna just pick it up right here. So that's 1/9. X squared minus 2x. And then 9 over 4. What happens if you divide by 9 right here? What happens to the 9s? They cancel, so it's 1/4. Y'all see that? There's a 1 right here. So 1/4 y squared minus 4y. And that equals negative 1/9.
Hey, that probably take him.
Y'all with me so far? Questions? All right. Now what we got to do is complete the squares on these two. Okay? So we have 1/9 times, oh, remember guys, we use b divided by 2 squared. B divided by 2 squared. So x squared minus 2x plus our space. What's our space going to be? 1, right? So negative 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 1, excuse me. Negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. All right. Right here, y squared minus 4y plus, we have negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. All right. And then on the other side here, we equal negative 1/9, right? What's your question? Yeah, man.
Wouldn't it be 1 for both?
No, sir. Negative 4 divided by 2 squared. That's negative 2, right? Negative 2 squared is 4. All right. All right. Now look, see this 1/9 and this 1 right here. I'm going to add 1/9 times 1. All right. I take this constant right here times that constant. All right, and I also do 1/4 times 4. Y'all see that? All right. So this side, we're going to go ahead and factor it. Remember, this is now your denominator. All right. This factors, if you remember b divided by 2, negative 2 divided by 2 was negative 1. So this is going to be x minus 1 squared, right? Right here, you have, we're going to divide by, remember, that's your denominator, that 4 right there. So right here, when we factor this, b divided by 2, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So x minus 2 squared, y, excuse me, y minus 2. Concerns? All right, now simplify this right side. So negative 1/9 times 1/9 plus 1. Y'all see that cancels, right? Hold up, we got a question. What you got, man? All right. So right here, negative 1/9 plus 1/9 times 1. Where I'm just gonna do it out real quick. That's negative 1/9, right? That's 1/9, and then that cancels, right? So that's 1. So that cancels. So it's 1. There's our standard equation right there. All right, that's our standard equation. All right, so we answered the conic. What type of conic is it? We also answered the standard equation. Y'all follow me?
That probably take
All right. This next equation right here. Y squared plus 6y plus 12x equals 15. All right. What type of conic is that? Parabola. How do we know it's a parabola? Yup. Parabola. Only one value is squared. All right. It could be x squared. It could be y squared, but only one variable is squared. Okay. So let's make this bigger. Okay, I'm gonna erase all this other stuff. No, I'm gonna leave it there. All right, let's go back to what I first said. They both have the x and y squared, but what's the difference in the leading coefficients? That coefficient and that coefficient. See how they're different? All right, that makes it an ellipse. If this was 4 and that was 4, or that was 1, that was 1, or that was 9, that was 9, it would be a circle, right? Think about a circle. It's the same measure throughout the whole entire thing. An ellipse is oblong on one side, right? You feel me? All right, back to this parabola right here. All right, so again, we start by grouping the y. Since this is y squared, we're gonna group the y terms together. All right, so y squared, hold up. Y squared plus 6y, all right, plus a space. I'm going to put the space in right here. Equals negative 12x plus 15. All right, I just moved this x term over here because since the y's can stay over here. All right. Now we complete the square, still using b divided by 2 squared. All right. B is 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. All right. So if I add 9 here, I also got to add 9 on this side, right? So now we factor this. All right. So we just talked about it. How would I factor this? X plus 3. Think about it. 6 divided by 2 is 3.
Wait, that's the y now?
I mean y. Excuse me. Y. Y. Go ahead. No. What you saying?
No, because you said like this.
Okay. Y plus 3. Right? It's just b divided by 2. Just look at that. 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's what this value is going to be. Positive 3. If it was negative 6 divided by 2, negative 3, this would be y minus 3. You feel me? All right. Oops, put that back. All right. And on the right side, we have negative 12x plus 24. So now we just got to factor this side, okay? This side's done. If we factor out a negative 12, we have x minus 2, right? Negative 12x, positive 24. Yep, there's our standard equation right there. That's standard. Hypothetically, if I wanted to put it in a vertex form, what would I do? Yeah, move this to the other side, it would be division, right? That's standard if I wanted vertex form. I know it didn't ask you for this, but I'm just showing you. All right, it'll be 1/12 or negative 1/12 y plus 3 squared equals x minus 2. That would be vertex form. I divide it. I just divide it by negative 12. See it? It's negative right here, right? It's negative right here. No, it's just, look, negative 1/12. By negative 12. Correct, which is right there. Look, that cancels. You see what I'm saying? Okay. What's up, man? You got a question? All right. Don't hit his head, please. Thank you. All right. And we said that's a parabola. All right. One more. How about this one? Ellipse. How do you know it's an ellipse? Right. They're both square, but the leading coefficients are different. It's an ellipse. All right, now start by. We start grouping like terms, right? So 25, x squared minus 50x plus 9y squared minus 90y equals negative 25, right? We constant to the other side. All right, next step. Who wants to volunteer? Factor out what? Yeah, factor out each leading coefficient. So if I factor out a 25, what's left in my parentheses? Minus 2x, good. All right, what do I factor out this next set? Good. Go ahead. Yo. No, I remember I want my leading coefficient now to be what? 1. Yeah. All right, guys, look, I'm gonna put a star right here. Why'd I put the star right there? You gotta divide twice. We gotta divide from that same row twice. All right, so I'm gonna divide 25. So 1x squared minus 2x plus 9 over 25 y squared minus 10y equals negative 1. All right. And then we're going to divide everything again by 9 this time. All right. So divide everything by 9.
That probably take her.
So that gives me 1 over 9. Well, here, look. Yep. Divide by 9, divide that by 9, divide that by 9, right? So that's 1/9 that stuff. Plus the 9s are going to cancel. So it's 1 over 25. Think about it right here. I'm going to do it out for you real quick. 9 over 25 divided by 9 over 1, which we keep change flip, right? It'll be 1 times 9, right? So the 9's cancel. That's 1 over 25. So if you had hypothetically 9 over 25 divided by 25 over 1, let's keep change flip, 1 over 25, that becomes 9 over 625. You see what I'm saying? Because when you multiply, you will multiply straight across. She was asking the hypothetical. That's not the actual problem. Oh yeah, times that other stuff, right? Y squared minus 10y, and that equals negative 1 over 9, right? 1 over 9, that's 9. Now, go ahead, what's your thing? Yeah, I did it, right here, divided by 9. See, look, that gave me negative 1, right? Then I divide by 9, and then you get it with negative 1 divided by 9. Nope, we already did 25. Now, we got to complete the squares, right? So, 1 over 9, x squared minus 2x plus 1, and 1 over 25, b divided by 2 squared, y squared minus 10y plus 25, good, equals negative 1 over 9. Now, we got to add the other stuff. So negative 1 over 9 plus what? 1/9 times 1 plus 1 over 25 times 25. Good. So this one's going to be a little different. No, it won't. No, it won't. This one will work out. So remember, that's, oh, I don't want that big like that. So we got 9 right here. We factor this. What do we get? X minus 1, just b divided by 2. So x minus 1 squared. Don't forget the square. Right here, what do we have? Y minus, say it again. Y minus 5 squared. Good. Because negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And that equals, what does this give me? 0, right? And that cancels, so is what? Equals 1. There's our standard form, right? Standard form of an ellipse. Oh!
I got it.
To what? I need to put you on.
Hey, that probably take him.
All right, man. Given the characteristics of the conic, find the standard form of the equation. So we have a focus and a directrix. That tells me that this is a parabola. All right, this is a parabola because we have a focus and a directrix. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick sketch right here. All right, the focus is at 2, 1, so over 2, up 1. All right, the directrix is way back here at negative 8, right? X equals negative 8, right? Right there. All right, understand, right? And I want you to think about it. Where's the vertex located? Is it out here? Is it in between the two or out there? It's in between the two, right? So to find the vertex, which is in the center of this line and that point, I find the distance between the two x values. All right, the distance between negative 8 to 0 is what? 8, right? And then the distance from 0 to 2 is 2. So what's this distance? 10. It's a distance of 10. Y'all got that? All right, no real strenuous task done. That's 8 plus 2, that's 10. So if this distance is 10, what's P? P is 5 because it's half the distance, right? So if I go negative 8 plus 5, what would that be? Negative 3. That's my vertex, negative 3, 1. Again, I took negative 8, I added 5. What's negative 8 plus 5? Negative 3. So that's my vertex, negative 3, 1, because remember it's going to have the same y value, right? So there we go. There's our parabola. There's our vertex. So now that I know my vertex is at negative 3, 1, I can make my standard equation. All right? Because this opens horizontal, right? Remember, we're going to use the equation y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h. So we have y minus 1 squared equals 4 times 5, 20, right? Because p is 5, x plus 3. There's our standard equation. Well, we're plugging in right here. So, you see what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. All right, cool. How'd I find P? I first found the distance from here to here. Because do you remember what P is? P is the distance from the vertex to the focus, right? So the distance from the directrix to the focus is a distance of 10. You understand how I found 10? So I just did simple math. From 8 to 0, this is the axis, so that's 0. From 8 to 0, negative 8 to 0 is a distance of 8, right? And then from 0 to 2 is 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So if that whole distance is 10, well, half of that is what? 5. So that's how I know P is 5. Yeah. Because the vertex is going to be right in the middle of that. You see what I'm saying? So then I took you can do it two ways. I can go, okay, negative 8 plus 5. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So that's my x value, negative 3. Or I could do 2 minus 5, negative 3. All right. Still get the same thing. Anything else? Oh, equation. We got it. There's the equation. Cool beans? All right. Right here. Vertex. Negative 2, 4, and the directrix is y equals 5. So again, this is a parabola, right? Because we have a vertex and we have a directrix. Anytime we got a directrix, we got a vertex. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick sketch again. So we have a point at negative 2, 4. All right, negative 2, 4. And then we have right here, y equals 5. There's my directrix, right? So how far is this distance from 2, 4, negative 2, 4, excuse me, to 5? So that means P is actually going to be negative 1. Here's the reason why. Because I got to go to the focus. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus specifically, right? So if this is the directrix, then where's the focus? It's got to be down here. Right? Here, let me do a bigger scale for you, man. All right. Focus, vertex, directrix. The focus has to be there, right? Because it has to be inside. It can't be in between the vertex and the directrix. Y'all follow me? And it can't be on this side. So now, if I know P is 1, think about it. This is the vertex, and I got to go down here to the focus. Don't I have to go down 1? That's why P is negative 1. Y'all follow me? It's about the direction I have to go to get to the focus. All right, I got to go down 1. See, on this last problem, for the focus, well, from here, it was to the right. It's to the right, so P is going to be 5. It's positive. Y'all got it? If I go to the right, it's positive. If I go up, it's positive. But from the vertex, I had to go down, so it's negative 5. Cool beans? All right. And now we know based off that. Oh, do we know what the focus is? We gotta go down 1. So what would the focus be? Negative 2, 3. Because we gotta go down 1. From 4 down 1 is 3. So this is vertical, right? You know, vertical parabola. So x minus h squared equals 4p times y minus k. So we have x minus what's the vertex? X plus 2 equals negative 4 y minus 4. That's our standard equation. Can I put in a vertex? Yeah, what would the vertex form be? What do you do with this? Just divide it over to the other side. So it'll be 1 over, yeah. So if it asks for standard, put in standard. If it asks for vertex, put in vertex. You feel me? And again, this is just vertex form, just so you can see it. All right. Vertex. Let me do that. Vertex. Vertex form, and this is standard right here. All right. Right here. Okay, look, we have foci. All right, and vertices, which means this is a ellipse. All right. So a couple things to remember real quick. Remember A. All right, if you got space, check this out. If you have space, just little things to remember. A equals the distance of what? From center to vertices. All right, and 2A is the distance between what? Vertices. Oops. Y'all follow me? We made that smaller. All right, what's B? B is the distance from what? Center to the co-vertices. Oops. And 2B is what? It's a distance, oops. Oops. I can't type today. All right, last thing, C. What is C? Distance from the center to the foci, right? And 2C is the distance of the foci. So from foci to foci would be 2C, right? Y'all got that? Okay, add that to your notes. That's important to have. All right, so hopefully you got all that down. I'm going to delete it now. All right, first things first. I need to find the distance between one of these 2 points because I got to find my center. All right, I'm going to find the distance right here between these two. All right, so I just need the distance between -12 and 4. And really, you can use the distance formula. All right, but think about it, right? From 0 to 12, -12 is 12, right? And from 0 to 4 is 4. What's 12 plus 4? So the distance of A is going to be 16, or 2A. Whoa. 2A is 16, right? So if 2A is 16, A equals 8. So now I can find my center. All right. Well, here real quick. Let me do this. Where is the, or here, if the distance from 0 to -10 is 10, and the distance from 0 to 2 is 2, right? Then what's the distance of or 2B? Yes, 2B, 2C, that's the foci. So 2C, what would that distance be? 10 into 12, that's 12, which means C equals 6. All right, so now I'm gonna find my center. All right, I'm gonna use this, -12. If I just count inward 8, right? -12 plus 8 would be what? -4. So that's my center, -4, 6. Even if you did it right here, take C, right? If I took -10 and counted in 6, -10 plus 6 is -4. That's it. So that's my center. All right, so I know what A is, I know what C is, I need to find B. All right, remember how to find B? A squared minus B squared equals C squared, right? So we have 8 squared minus B squared equals 6 squared. So it's 36 minus 64, right? So that's going to be 36, right? Negative 36, sorry, right? And then divide by the negatives, that becomes a positive. And then the square root, so B is what? B is 6. Look, you get rid of the negatives, they cancel. Oh, you're doing 36 minus 64?
Oh, yeah.
36 minus 64, because you know, oh, that's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is not 36. What would that be? 28. There you go. Cool. So negative B squared equals 28. All right, that's my fault. So then negative 28. So get rid of the negatives and then square root both sides. So B equals the square root of 28 right there. All right. So, well, no, we're cool right there. So now we can put it in the standard equation. Because think about it. We have the A, we have B, and we have the center. Right? So now establish, is this vertical or horizontal? It's horizontal. And it's horizontal because think about here, if you did a quick sketch. Negative 12, 6. So negative 12 up 6, right? 4, 6. That's over here. So it's going to be longer than it's going to be shorter. Make sense? So that means I use this equation right here. X minus H, which is going to be X minus, or X plus 4. And remember, if it's horizontal, what goes first, A or B? A. So 64. 8 squared is 64. All right. Plus Y minus K, which is 6 squared. I forgot my squared. All over what term? B squared. And the square root of 24, look, if you square that, that's just what? 28. And it equals 1. There's your standard equation right there. All right, right for number 7. All right, we have a foci, and we have the major axis length of 10. All right, so first off, you guys weren't in here, so let me go over this quickly with you. All right, so we have foci, we have a major axis. This tells me that this is an ellipse, guys. All right, so real quick, let's first. I want to find a distance. We know what A is, or we know what 2A is, right? What's 2A? 2A is 10. All right, because it told us the major axis length is 10. All right, so that means A is what? A is 5. All right, check this out. We also know what the length of the foci is. All right, think about it, right? If you have quick sketch, we know that this is Y equals 0, right? This one is at negative 2, 1. So that's at 1, right? So the distance from here to here is 1, right? And then right here from 2 to 7, the distance is 7. So what's the distance right here? 6. So 2B, oh, I'm sorry, not 2B, but what? 2C. All right, 2C because it's our foci. So 2C equals 6. All right, that means C is what? 3. All right, what's up, man? Yeah, man. All right, C is 3. All right. Again, this is an ellipse. We need to find. Hey, come get the pass, bro. We gotta find our center real quick. All right. So we really could just take. Let me go back to that. All right, we got negative 2, 7, negative 2, 1. All right. The center, I can go from 7, count backwards to get our center, all right? Or, oh, that's only one foci. I'd rather count backwards by how many to get our center, 5, right? Or, for my foci, I would count 3. All right, if I count by 5, right, 7 minus 5 would be what? Wait a minute. Actually, we got to count by 3. 1 foci. Oh, this is a small ellipse. This is small. So 7 minus 3 would be 4, right? So that's our center right there, negative 2, 4. And it's negative 2, 4 because, again, if that's 7, the distance from this foci to that foci is 6. Well, half of that is 3, right? Right, we saw that. So from 7, count back to 3, that's 4. So negative 2, 4. Remember, this is negative 2. All these are on the same line. Right? So that's our center. Negative 2, 4. Now we got to find our, we got it. We're straight. Now we just need B. Right? We need B. How do I find B? A squared minus B squared equals C squared. So 5 squared minus B squared equals 3 squared. So that's 25, that's 9. 9 minus 25 is negative 16, right? 9 minus 25 is negative 16. The negatives cancel, and then we find the square root. So what's B? B is 4. All right, B is 4. So we can find our vertices, all right? But that doesn't matter. For this, we're just making an equation. By the way, which way does this open? This is not open, but this is a vertical ellipse. All right, not horizontal. So when it's vertical, we use the equation x minus h. What's h again? Remember what the center was? The center was negative 2, 4, right? So plus 2 squared. All right, and if it's vertical, what goes first? B or A? B, right? B. B goes first. It's vertical. Yeah, plus 2. So this would be 16. And then you have y minus k squared over a squared equals 1. There's our standard equation. All right. All right. Number 8. The center is at negative 2, 5, and it passes through this point right here at 4, 1. All right, negative 2, 5, and 4, 1. All right, so y'all know what shape this is? It's a circle, right? We know what the center is, and we know that the circle passes through this point. Y'all with me? All right, so first we need to find our radius. Y'all remember how to find the radius? Yeah, the distance formula, right? So I'm going to make this x2, y2. All right, so x1, y1. So I'm going to do 4 minus a negative 2 squared plus 1 minus 5 squared. So that's plus 2. So that's 6 squared. That's negative 4 squared. What's that, 52? Equals square root of 52. That's R. So now y'all remember the equation of a circle?
Yes.
Equals R squared. Awesome. So what would our equation be here? All right, x plus 2, because we have our center right here. Plus what now? Y minus 5 squared. =52 equals 52. It's 52 the square root of 52, if you square this, right, it's just 52. So there's our equation right there. All right, questions? Because the center is -2, 5. It passes through 4, 1. So there's a circle centered around that passes through that point. You know what I mean? Parabola doesn't have a center. Parabola has a vertex. I would need more information than the center and passes through that point. Like, what would this point be? A vertice? Co-vertice? You know what I'm saying? I would need to know more than just that. All right, put each conic into standard form. Find the critical value, center, vertex, foci, directrix, and co-vertex. All right, what do we have right here, guys? First of all, we need to identify that. What is that? We talked about it yesterday. It's a circle. All right, how do we know it's a circle? Yeah, the leading coefficients are the exact same. We have x squared and y squared, but the leading coefficients are the same. So this is a circle. All right, this is a circle. So let me make this bigger so I have more space to write. Oh, that's as big as I can get. All right, cool. So we start by grouping our terms. All right. And move that constant to the other side. So y'all remember b divided by 2 squared? And we use that to complete our square. So right here, b is -8. -8 divided by 2 is -4, and -4 squared is going to be 16. Yeah. And right here, -24 divided by 2 is -12, and -12 squared is what? 144. So now we factor this. On this side? Oh, it is +9. Yeah, awesome. All right, right here. Y'all remember how to find this factor? Yeah, just divide. -8 divided by 2 is -4. -4. Right here, what would this be? -24 divided by 2 is -12. Right? And right here, what does this give us? Huh? 160 what? 169. Gotcha. All right, there's our equation right there, right? So we found our standard equation. So now let's find our center. All right, what's our center? 412. All right, what's our radius? 13. Cool. Hey, hang that up for me. Appreciate it, boss. Square root it, yep. Square root it. Yeah, that's it. For a circle, I don't have a vertex, focus, I don't have directrix or co-vertices. Anybody else? All right, right here. Looking at that equation, what are we gonna have? A parabola. How do we know it's a parabola? Yeah, it's only one squared variable. All right, so again, we're going to isolate that variable. Right? And then we do the same thing, complete the square. So negative 4 divided by 2 squared. That's negative 2. So that's 4, right? And then we factor it. Y minus 2 squared. And right here, 4x plus 20. All right, last thing we need to do is factor that right side. Take out a 4, we have x plus 5. That's your standard equation. This is your equation right here. All right. Equals. Let's find P. Y'all remember how to find P? 4P equals what? 4P equals 4. That constant right there. So P equals 1. Cool. So vertex. What's our vertex? Negative 5, 2. H, K. Hey, question. Because this is y squared, which way does this open? Vertical or horizontal? Horizontal because it's y squared. Now does it open left or right? It opens to the right. How do you know? P is positive. So if this opens to the right, how do I find my focus? Add P to the x value, right? So negative 5 plus 1. So that gives us negative 4. That's our focus. How do I find my directrix? Take that same x value and subtract 1. So x equals negative 6, right? I went right to get the focus. I go left to get the directrix. Oh, axis of symmetry. Thank you. What's the axis of symmetry? Y equals 2 right there. Y equals 2. What's up? Get it out. Come on. I'm gonna do that anyway. That was your question? That was your question? Fam. Come on, fam. All right, right here. What do we have? What shape? Ellipse. How do we know? Yup. All right, we have an ellipse. So, hey, now this one's a little more involved, guys. Remember, we got to divide twice on this one. All right, actually, I'm going to leave that there. All right, so we group our terms. 4x squared minus 32x. Oh, they're already grouped. Cool. All right, so look, listen. I'm not even going to rewrite that. What do we need to do right here? Factor out what? Factor out the leading coefficient. Now, why do we do that? Hey, fam. Kiefer. Come on, bro.
Hey, that probably take him.
What do we factor out right here? Yup. All right. Now I'm gonna put a star right here. The reason I'm gonna put a star right here is because I need to remember I gotta divide twice. I gotta divide both these constants right here. All right. So I'm gonna start by dividing 4. Divide all these by 4. So that right there gives us 1. Sorry about that. This one gives me 3/4. And this is just -55/4. Remember, only divide out these terms we factored out, or these constants out front, okay? Now what do we got to do? Divide everything by 3. So I'm going to skip over here. So that's 1/3. Alright, plus, y'all see these 3s? What do those 3s do? So I'm left with a 1 up top. So plus 1/4. Y squared minus 6y. And then, see that's over 1. So I'm going to keep change, flip that, like that. Oops, over 3. So that's -55 over 12. Like that. Again, I divided by 3, well that's 3 over 1. I can keep change flip, keep the top, change that to multiplication, and then flip this 3 over 1 to 1/3. And then multiply straight across. -55 times 1 is -55, and 4 times 3 is 12. Now, let's complete the square. So I have 1/3 x squared minus 8x plus what? -4 divided by, -8 divided by 2 is -4. -4 squared is 16. -6 divided by 2 is -3. -3 squared is 9. And so we have -55 over 12 plus 1/3 times 16. This is what you got to remember. All right, you got to multiply that and that. All right. Plus 1/4 times 9. You missed something, I guarantee it. I hear you. I hope so. Right here? Yeah, well, they're non-denominators. I'm going to factor this. So remember, -b divided by 2, that's -4, right? Right here, -6 divided by 2 is -3. And this over here. Somebody punch that in. It's 3. Oh, why? Thank you. All right, last thing. Hey, yo, what is this side supposed to be? A 1. How do I turn that 3 into a 1? Multiply by 1/3 on both sides. So right here, this becomes x minus 4 squared over 9. And y minus 3 squared over what? Over 12 equals 1. There's our standard equation up here. Right there, distribute that 1/3 here and here. Well, it's an ellipse, so I have my center. Yeah, I'm gonna find all that stuff real quick. All right, right here. Center of the ellipse. What's the center? 4, 3. All right. So if the center, and I need to do a little sketch so y'all can see it. If the center's at 4, 3. So right 4 up 3. All right. And A is on the right side. What's A, guys? Square root of 12. What's B? 3. All right. We'll find, well, let's go ahead and find C, right? So we have A squared, which is 12, minus 3 squared, which is 9, equals C squared. 12 minus 9 would be what? 3? Right? Square root of 3. Good stuff. Square root of 3. All right. Anyway, B here, so this is vertical. So that's the center. To get the focus, the vertex. Let's do the vertices. I got to go up. So I'm going to add 3 plus square root of 12, right? And 3 minus square root of 12 to get my 2 vertices.
Hey, that probably take him.
Anybody? All right, what about my focus? Where are they located? Again, the vertices are here, right? The focus are going to be inside. How do I get those? Add what? 3 to that. Add B to that. So it's going to be... Hey, yo, y'all see what I did wrong? Look, that's what I did wrong. It's not 3, is it? It's 4. 4, 6.5, and 4, negative 0.5. All right, so the foci would be 4 what? 6, and 4, 0. 4, 6, and 4, 0. And then we just got to find out co-vertices. All right. So which value changes here? The x. So it's going to be 4 plus square root of 3 and 4 minus square root of 3. These values won't change. $5.7 and 2 point what? 2.3. Awesome. Co-vertices, vertices, foci, center, and standard equation. All right, we'll keep going. All right, right here we have a circle. All right, circle. So that'd be 1 and 1, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So actually, I'm gonna let y'all work through that one.